So last time on Unsealed, I talked a little bit about Ridge Racer 5. It's actually a game that I opened up on camera. It was one of the games that I got when I got my PlayStation 2 in January of 2001, very late January of that year. The reason for that was that Sega was pulling the plug on the Dreamcast. I had traded in all of my Dreamcast stuff, got a decent amount of trade credit for it, and had picked up some games for it at launch. This was one of the ones that I got. Being a big Ridge Racer fan, it made sense to get this. I'm also a big sports game fan. I have been for a while. So the next game that I'm going to be opening up is this guy right here. This is NHL 2001, which was a launch title for the PlayStation 2. This one right here, Out of the Stands, Onto the Ice. This game also boasted 60 frames per second animation, which was twice as fast as what we saw on the PlayStation. There was a bit more detail. Some of the replay angles were new, and it was the first hockey game for the PS2, so there was a lot of expectation for it. What I remember about this game when I got it were a couple of things. First of all, the really cool replay angles. Back in 2001 or 2001, the Matrix was still a pretty big thing. So that whole bullet time bit where the puck would be shot, you could kind of see like the camera would stop on the puck and then the camera would rotate around and you'd see the puck go in. Stuff like that was really cool. The announcers for this game, I'll hold it up back to the camera, were Jim Hewson and Bill Clement. The last time that these two would be together. Jim Hewson would go on to do commentary in more of a comedic style for NHL 2002 and 2003, where Bill Clement would eventually get back together with Gary Thorne for Visual Concepts hockey games for Sega Sports. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up and we're going to take a look at the manual that's inside. This did have a price tag on it. You can see it here. There we go, kind of in the upper corner. From what I can see, and I'll kind of hold it a little bit closer, it looks like the last vestiges of a Circuit City price tag, but it looks like they took it off. And you can kind of tell because there's this security stuff up here. Their security coding or their security tags were underneath the price tag. So if you tried to take it off, it really didn't matter. The alarm would still go off if you tried to take it before it got scanned at the register. So we'll go ahead and we'll open this up again. I'm going to try and do this so you can see on camera. Before I do that, this does have the security label, by the way. Some of the other games that I do have for Unsealed, unfortunately, don't, so I think that they were repackaged. But this is the original, the real deal. So let's go ahead and we'll open this up. There we go. All right. Crinkle that up right there. Okay, and we'll go ahead and we'll try and take the security seal off, or at least try and keep it on. The official PlayStation Magazine quotes on the back here: "Few games on a next-gen system raise the bar this high. NHL 2001 is a triumph." So we have the security label. We can try and bend that forward. On the inside, again, this is another, because it's a launch title, there were a lot of these CD-ROM blue-back discs, but it's the same kind of cover art with the white with the blue. I believe that's Owen Nolan on the front here. So we'll go ahead and we'll put this aside, and we'll take a look at the manual. The manual is, unfortunately, in black and white, unlike the Ridge Racer manual from last time. This is all in black and white, including the screenshots that you see here. Manual just tells you the basics. There are a couple of things in this game that interest me. Most notably, I believe that there are some NHL cards here, if I remember right. I'm trying to remember if this one had it. Maybe I'm wrong. There's a fantasy draft here. You can customize rosters. You can only play a season. You can't do a franchise. That came along a bit later. Season mode is a lot of fun. I played as Colorado because I was a big Colorado Avalanche fan during the time. Big Patrick Waugh guy. On the inside here, you do get a Register and Win Stuff card. I'll move that closer so you can take a look at it. Not a lot interesting here. EA really didn't do a lot of question and answer for theirs. First name, last name, street name, internet address, which is an email address, name of product purchased, and the system that you bought it for, PC, Mac, PlayStation, or PS2. And that was pretty much it. You had to put a stamp on it and mail it in. Uh, so yeah, I mean it's very simple, but the game really started. This was the game that really started that next generation revolution. This and the next game that I'll cover in the next episode. I don't want to give too much away. And these sports games were important for me as a sports video game fan. There's one, unfortunately, that I won't be showing you that I got when I got the system called Swing Away Golf, which is a fun little golf game from T&E Soft, the company that did Wicked 18 and Wily Country Club for the Super Nintendo. They also did Swing Away Golf, and it's a bit more traditional. It certainly doesn't look as full of polygons as Swing Away Golf does. Swing Away Golf is very cartoony. You could build your own course. It was pretty neat. But I have really fond memories of this game. What's interesting about this as well is that this does stat overlays really, really well. It does a good job with showing irrelevant statistics during play stoppages, and it feels more like a TV broadcast than some other NHL games did in the future. But this was the last serious NHL game for a couple of years, at least in terms of commentary. Moving forward to the next couple, and you might actually see those, hint, hint. The commentary took more of a comedic turn, which was pretty funny, and the game got a lot faster as well, but we'll talk about that the next time through. So if you have any memories of NHL 2001, feel free to share them if you actually had this game. If you don't, it's not something I necessarily recommend. It's not one that you have to have, but if you'd like to see what the launch of the PlayStation 2 is like in terms of sports games, this is a good place to start. This game and the game that I'll cover next time. That is a tease for the next time, and until then, take care, everybody.